In this video, I'll explain how to write a discussion essay and provide you with an outline that makes it easier. Before we start, you should know that it's not the only way to write a discussion essay. There are different formats and outlines, but this one is one of the easiest and practical ways to do so. So as usual, we need to understand the statement and the instruction. This question is from IELTS Academic 11, Test 3. Some people say that the only reason for learning a foreign language is in order to travel to or work in a foreign country. Others say that these are not the only reasons why someone should learn a foreign language. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So the topic is reasons for learning a foreign language, and there are two views here. View 1, to travel to or work in a foreign country, and view 2, there are other reasons why someone should learn a foreign language. You should discuss both and also mention your opinion. Remember that when discussing two different viewpoints, you should put yourself in the shoes of people who believe in each view or in each side. So in other words, you need to cover both views and aspects and then mention your view clearly. So it means that you should say why people hold view 1 and why the others believe in the second one. And in order to mention your view, you can agree with view 1 or view 2 or have a different view. In order to organize your answer for the first part, if you say I support view 1, you should write an introduction, then one paragraph to discuss view 1, another body paragraph to discuss view 2, and then write a conclusion. We do exactly the same thing if you agree with the second view. You write an introduction, discuss view 1 in the first body paragraph, discuss view 2 in the second one, and write a conclusion to conclude all the main points. But you can also have a different view. If you do so, you need to write an introduction, discuss view 1, discuss view 2, and write a separate paragraph to discuss your view and support it. And after that, write a conclusion. In this video, I will focus on this type to have a different view to show how it works, because in the previous videos of discussion essays, I mostly supported view 1 or view 2, so this one is different. So the first paragraph is the introduction. Let's write it step by step. So the first sentence introduces the main topic or the subject. Learning foreign languages has become increasingly popular for different reasons. So you don't have to write this sentence, but sometimes I like to start my essay with that. Now, the second sentence states the two opposing views. In other words, I paraphrase the statement. Some say it is useful just for traveling or working abroad, while others believe there are more purposes. Now, the third sentence, I state my opinion. I think language learning is not limited to these aims. So I write it here briefly because I want to write a separate paragraph on that. So put it all together. This is my introduction. The first part introduces the main subject or topic. The second part, I paraphrase the statement or mention the two opposing or different views. And in the last part, I mention my opinion. I'm going to also mention and explain the useful vocabulary here. First, we have increasingly. It means happening more and more often. Popular, liked by many people. Abroad, in a different country or far away from home. Purpose, the reason for doing something. And be limited to means can only happen or exist within certain boundaries. Now, let's write the first body paragraph and discuss view 1. So in the first sentence, I will write the first viewpoint. Many associate learning languages with traveling or finding jobs in different countries. Now, sentence 2, I need to explain why people might hold this view. Perhaps because it improves communication, enhances people's experiences, and opens up employment opportunities where that language is spoken. Now in the last part, I'll write an example to support this viewpoint. For example, if you speak Spanish or Mandarin, you might find yourself living and working abroad, improving your earning potential in no time. Additionally, knowing these languages can enrich your travel experiences, allowing you to get the best out of your adventures. So I added also the point about traveling because we have it in the first viewpoint. So to put it all together, the first part, I mentioned the first viewpoint. In the second one, I explained why. And in the last part, I provided examples to support that. Now let's also focus on the useful vocabulary in this paragraph. Associate, to think of two things as related or connected. Enhance, to make something better or improve its quality. Opens up, to make available or create opportunities. Earning potential, the possibility of making money or increasing income. In no time, very quickly. Enrich, to make something more valuable or enjoyable by adding to it. Now let's focus on the second body paragraph and discuss the second view. So the outline is quite similar to the first body paragraph. First, I'll mention the second view. Others disagree and say language learning has more practical purposes and should not be limited to travel or work. Now I need to explain that. They argue that new languages offer learners deeper insights into a whole new world and facilitate their understanding of new cultures and perspectives. Now I need to provide examples. For instance, if you know Japanese, the literature from this country becomes accessible and you can enjoy books, movies, poems, and music in these languages and therefore gain first-hand insights into their customs, values, and daily lives. So to put it all together, the first part, I mentioned the second view, then I explained, and finally I provide examples for it. Now let's focus on the useful vocabulary. Practical, useful or sensible in real life situations. Insight into something, understanding or knowledge about something. Facilitate, to make something easier or help it happen. Perspective, a way of seeing or thinking about something. Literature, written works like books, stories, or poems. Accessible, easy to get or reach. First-hand, information or experience obtained directly. Now, the third body paragraph to discuss my view. Again, if you agree with view 1 or view 2, you don't have to write this paragraph. So, the first part, I will mention my viewpoint. In my opinion, both views have merit, but the main reason for learning a new language is to make business easier. Now I need to explain my view. Without the ability to communicate effectively, international business transactions can be challenging and may lead to misunderstandings or missed opportunities. Now, one example will complete my paragraph. For instance, learning Mandarin can significantly benefit you when negotiating with Chinese clients or partners. So to put it all together, the first part I mentioned my view, then I explained that, and in the last part I provided one example to support it. Now, useful vocabulary in this part, merit, something being good enough to deserve attention or reward. Effectively, doing something well or in a successful way. Business transactions, buying, selling, or exchanging goods or services for money. Challenging, difficult, or requiring effort to do. Misunderstanding, not understanding something correctly or accurately. Missed opportunities, chances or possibilities that were not taken advantage of. Significantly, in a way that is very important or noticeable. Next word is benefit. Benefit here is a verb. To gain something useful or positive from something. And negotiate, to discuss or bargain in order to reach an agreement. Now, the last paragraph, our conclusion. So the first part, I will summarize the different viewpoints or opinions on the topic. In summary, while travel and work are important reasons for learning a foreign language, it has more significant benefits. Now, in the last part, I will state which opinion is better or more important in my view. Broadening horizons, appreciating different cultures, and connecting with people globally all contribute to the value of language learning. So to put it all together, the first part, I summarized the viewpoints, And in the second part, I said which opinion is better or more important in my view. Let's focus on the useful vocabulary in this paragraph. Significant, very important or having a big effect. Broadening horizons, making your understanding of the world wider. Appreciate, to understand the value or importance of something. Globally, all around the world or everywhere. Contribute to help make something happen or be successful. And the value of, how important or useful something is. All right, now let's look at the layouts all together. So the first part, I wrote my introduction. I mentioned these 3 points. Then body paragraph 1 and 2. Then my third body paragraph to discuss my view. Again, you don't have to write this paragraph if you agree with view 1 or view 2. And finally, I concluded all the main points, and I mentioned which view is better or more important in my view. I organized my essay in 5 paragraphs, and I wrote 283 words for that. You can see the outlines on the paragraph. All right, hope you found it useful. Have a nice day.